Somebody told me recently that a buddy of theirs gave Claude Code the domain typeform.com, and 4 hours later, Claude Code had built Typeform, like exactly Typeform. Most people in SaaS heard that story and either got panicked or just dismissed it, but I think both reactions are wrong. Over the last decade, I bootstrapped 3 SaaS companies to 30 million in combined ARR, and in this video, I want to walk you through what I think is actually happening here, because from what I'm seeing, the entire startup world is missing the point on how AI is changing the space. So Dharmesh Shah, the co-founder and CTO of HubSpot, posted something that recently a lot of people agreed with. His statement was, "I don't see companies trusting their revenue engine to something vibe coded over a weekend." And he's right. Nobody's going to vibe code HubSpot. I agree with that completely. The enterprise will keep buying enterprise software, but that's not the issue. But the people who think that framing settles the argument are looking at the wrong threat. The real issue isn't whether someone will replace HubSpot with a weekend project. The real issue is what changed underneath everything quietly over the last couple of years, because it used to be pretty difficult to get software built, not impossible, but you had to have engineering talent, and that was actually a massive filter. That filter is basically gone now. We're entering a world where almost any code can be written by almost anyone, anywhere in the world. So there's 2 facts about this new world. In this new world, there's 2 facts that I see. Fact number 1 is that it's a far worse environment for selling software than before. When building software required real engineering resources, there was a natural ceiling on competition. You needed capital, you needed talent, and you needed time. The cost of entry to compete with any software product has collapsed, and that's not good for the people selling software. Fact number 2 is an even bigger change I see. It takes a 1 in a million type founder to take down a publicly traded SaaS company, someone with the obsession, the judgment, and the drive to actually pull off. But that person has always existed. The question is, how many more of them will be able to get started now that the engineering barrier is gone? Drawn in by the hype, the news cycle, and by the genuine sense that this is the movement to build something. My answer is that at least 10,000 times more people will try than tried before, and a few of them will be genuinely exceptional Elon Musk type guys. That is why SaaS stocks are getting hurt right now, not because Lovable is replacing HubSpot with something they vibe coded, but because the pool of potential competitors for every SaaS company just got massively larger overnight. I see a couple specific problems when it comes to the future of SaaS. Problem number 1 is everyone's going to build everything at a scale we can't fully imagine yet. That Typeform in 4 hours story is a sign of what's coming. When someone can reproduce a years old SaaS product in an afternoon, the product itself is not the moat anymore. Problem 2 is every SaaS company is going to scramble to build agents that do the work for you. So instead of selling software that helps you do the job, the play becomes selling an agent that does the job for you. This is the intercom model with Finn. Instead of selling software that helps you do a job, sell an agent that does the job for you and charge for an outcome. Egan McCabe at Intercom has been very public about this pivot, and every SaaS is eyeing the same move. Problem number 3 is that these agents likely won't carry SaaS margins. The SaaS model works because once the software is built, every new customer is almost pure profit. Agents are different. There are real token costs per task and real overhead per interaction. So you could end up in a situation where revenue looks fine on paper, but the margin structure beneath it is getting worse every month. The only companies that I think come out on the other side of this in good shape are ones that built something genuinely hard to replicate, a data advantage, a network, or something that took years that you can't just vibe code in a weekend. And that's exactly what I'm trying to build with RBDB right now, an AI-first company where the product is built around first-party data that nobody has. What it does is it pushes the LinkedIn profiles of your anonymous website visitors directly to Slack, and it takes about 5 minutes to set up. This way, you can start reaching out to your warmest leads that you would otherwise leave without a trace. If you want to try it out for free, I'll leave the link in the description below. And if you want to see how I use content in one simple offer to take RBDB from 0 to $1 million in 16 weeks, watch this video next.